What is happening, party people? This is Brett Jackson Boogie's music channel coming at you. And today I'm going to do the first part of a series. I think I'm going to do beginner guitar lessons. And today I'm going to talk to you about understanding the guitar, your strings, and the fretboard, and where the notes are. So first thing about a 6-string guitar that you should probably understand is what the strings are. So the bottom string is an E. The next string is an A. Next string is a D. Then a G. Then a B. Then an E. These are the open notes on each string. So it's the good way to memorize it is E, A, D, G, B, E. Every awesome dude gets better every day on the guitar. So that's how I remember it. The next thing that you need to understand about how your fretboard is laid out is the difference between a half a step and a whole step. And in order to understand that, you should understand there are basically 7 notes: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes back around to A again. There's more than 7 notes because you've got sharps and flats, and you got minor notes, and you got major notes, or major chords and minor chords, and all that jazz. But for right now, I just want you to understand that it's A through G. So the secret here, or the key here, is when you go from one note to another, it's either a half a step or a whole step. Now, what do I mean by a half a step or a whole step? If you look at your guitar's fretboard, it has frets. Here's one fret, another fret, another fret. So if you say a half a step, that's 1 fret. So if I'm playing the E, for example, 1 half step up from that is an F, because that's one of the rules. It's only a half a step between notes, between the E and the F and the B and the C, as you can see on this chart. See, the E and the F is a half a step, and the B and the C is a half a step. Everything else is a whole step. Now, why is that important? Because it's important because you can start to understand every note on the fretboard. So, if we were to go on the E and follow this chart, a half a step from an E, E, a half a step up is an F. And a whole step, which is 2 frets up from that, is a G. Just so happens that that first dot on your fretboard is conveniently located at the G. A whole step up from that is A. Just so happens the second dot on your fretboard is located at A. And guess what? You go another whole step up, and it's B. So you got G, A, B right there. And those dots are there to help you remember that. So, for example, this is getting a little beyond what I wanted to explain, but for example, when you play a G bar chord, you're on the G. When you play an A bar chord, you're on the A. When you play a B bar chord, you're on the B. So now you start to understand. Now see, you can take this E string and go all the way up, and you can name every note. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. There's only a half a step between B and C. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. And look at that, we're back at E. And something else that's very conveniently laid out on your fretboard is the fact that that's where the 2 dots are, where you go back to E. Just so happens it's the same way for every string. So here's your A string. Guess what? If you press that string down at the second dot, it's also an A. So the second dot is very convenient to help you understand that you're back at the same note. E, open string E. Guess what? E at the second dot. A, D, G, B, E. And there you have it, folks. Remember, half step, whole step is 2 frets. Half step is 1 fret. Whole step is 2 frets. See? All right. So there you have it. That's the lesson for today. And hopefully you can mess around with each string and you can understand, you can now name every note on your fretboard. Right? Right. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Peace out. Thank you so much for joining Brett Jackson Boogie's music channel. If you like my material, hit subscribe and go to the next video. Peace out and thank you so much.